You'd never guess it by looking at him, but the one-legged man who worked at our factory caused more chaos than any machine ever did, and somehow, nobody ever caught him. We called him Sam. He'd been around longer than most of us. Started back when the machines still had names painted on them. A quiet man, gray beard, thick glasses, always in the same faded overalls. He'd lost his leg years ago in an accident on the job. The company gave him a small pension, but he refused to leave. Said the factory was his second home. Most people pitied him. Some respected him. But I was one of the few who actually watched him. And over time, I realized Sam wasn't nearly as helpless as he looked. Our factory made parts for agricultural machines. Noisy, dusty, and always behind schedule. Every day at 7 a.m., Sam would limp in with his old lunchbox, nod to the guard, and take his spot by the control panel near line 3. He didn't talk much, but when he did, he always had that spark in his eyes, like he knew something you didn't. Then small things started happening. The first was the day the supervisor's chair collapsed. Tom, the kind of guy who loved yelling just to prove he existed, had mocked Sam's limp during morning briefings. That afternoon, when Tom sat down, the chair legs folded neatly under him, screws cleanly removed. Sam didn't even look up, just said softly, "Guess gravity's working overtime today." Then it was the vending machine. Anyone who ever shortchanged Sam somehow found their snacks replaced with tiny bags of screws. Nobody could figure out how. People started calling these little mysteries factory ghosts, but I had a feeling the ghost had a limp and a wicked sense of humor. The thing about Sam was, he never lost his calm. Even when the machines broke down or management yelled, he just smiled. That patient, knowing smile. But behind that calm, I sensed something sharper. He had eyes that measured people, not just machines. One evening during maintenance, I saw him adjusting wires near the breaker panel. "Sam," I asked, "you doing a fix?" He smiled. "Just making sure things don't blow up when they shouldn't." At the time I laughed. Later I realized that line meant something. It was around Christmas when the big one happened. The factory manager, Mr. Haynes, called everyone to the assembly floor. He stood there, straight-faced, and told us there'd be no Christmas bonuses this year. Said the company was cutting costs. I still remember the silence. People looked like someone had turned off their air supply. For most of us, that bonus meant bills paid, kids' gifts, or just a warm holiday meal. Sam didn't say a word. He just tapped his cane twice and walked back to his station. But there was a look in his eyes I'd never seen before. Quiet, steady anger. 3 days later, the night shift turned into pure chaos. Every machine on line 3, Sam's line, started reversing. The conveyors ran backward, belts tangled, bolts flew across the floor. The alarm wouldn't stop screaming, and the power switch completely dead. The system had locked everyone out. By the time the engineers got there, the whole section was a mess. We lost 2 full days of production and tens of thousands in parts. Haynes was furious, red in the face, shouting about sabotage, but there was no trace of who did it. And Sam? He showed up the next morning, sipping his coffee, humming like nothing happened. Said, "Machines get tired too, Mr. Haynes. You gotta let them rest sometimes." No one thought much of it, except me. A week later, when the maintenance team replaced the wiring, I helped them move Sam's old locker. That's when I saw it. Behind it, hidden in the wall cavity, was a small control box, built from scrap switches and recycled wires. It had handwritten labels: belt, alarm, reverse, main. Every line from the chaos connected right to that box. I knew immediately who made it. Sam was a genius with circuits. He could make an old fan spin backward if he wanted. I didn't tell anyone. Partly because I couldn't prove it, and partly because deep down, I didn't want to. A week later, Haynes resigned. Corporate blamed him for poor safety oversight. Sam retired quietly not long after. Left a note on his bench that said, "Don't let the machines run you." He walked out with his cane, his old lunchbox, and the same half smile he always wore. Nobody ever saw him again. Now, years later, whenever a line malfunctions or an alarm won't stop ringing, someone always jokes, "Sam's back," but I don't laugh, because I know the truth. He wasn't just the old one-legged man people pitied. He was the quiet storm that reminded everyone, you should never underestimate the man who watches, listens, and waits.